Section 344 of the Lincoln Storybook by Henry L. Williams. The Tool Turned on the Handle. Read for LibriVox.org by Harold Stewart. The scales having fallen from our sight, and the figure of the greatest American, standing out colossal and clean-cut for posterity to worship as without a blemish, it is hard to measure the conceit of the clique of politicians, pettifoggers, and office-seekers, certainly assisting in the advancement of Abraham Lincoln from confined obscurity in the West to the choice of the Northern nation. That was not enough, but still gauging him with their tape, they withheld justice from him, after he displayed his worth in meeting the impending crisis. When on the heels of the call for 300,000 men in 1863, came in spring 1864 another for 500,000 to fortify General Grant in his finishing maneuvers, a murmur was heard. Chicago, gallantly having done her part, thought it was pumping at a void. A deputation from Cook County, headed by Lincolnites, departed for the capital to object to the summons. It was thought by his friends and long supporters that their own elect could not resist their plea or turn it off with a joke. This deputation fined down to 3 persons, as it was not a patriotic quest. One of them also wished to balk, being Joseph Medill, editor of the Chicago Tribune. As a matter of course, Secretary of War Stanton refused the indulgence, obdurate as he was. The President was likewise averse, but he did consent to go over the matter with Stanton. The result was the same. All was left solely to Lincoln, since the personal argument was implied by the mediums selected. "I," said Medill to Miss Tarbell, "I shall never forget how Mr. Lincoln suddenly lifted his head and turned on us a black and frowning face. 'Gentlemen,' said he, in a voice full of bitterness, 'after Boston, Chicago has been the chief instrument in bringing this war on the country. The Northwest has opposed the South, as New England opposed the South. It was you who were largely responsible for causing the blood to flow as it has. You called for war until we had it. You called for emancipation, and I have given it to you. Whatever you have asked, you have had. Now you come here, begging to be let off from the call for men which I have made to carry out the war you demanded. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. I have a right to expect better things of you. Go home and raise your 6,000 extra men, the Cook County rate. And you, Medill, you are acting like a coward. You and your Tribune have had more influence than any paper in the Northwest in making this war. Go home and send us those men.' They went home, and they raised and sent those men." End of section 344. This recording is in the public domain.